Hi travelers! This is 6 You Should See Around the World, Louvre Museum in Paris. If you like us, subscribe! Louvre Museum is one of the largest museums in the world, and it has more than 35,000 objects on display out of a collection of 380,000 art pieces. Every room and every ceiling are filled with art masterpieces to be amused at. It is simply not possible to see all over a one visit, so I will walk you through the 6 you should see at the Louvre Museum. Before you enter, you should look around the famous pyramids of the Louvre, but I think the pyramids are really a true scenery at night, so don't forget to revisit at night for this beautiful scenery. Number 6 on our list is Sleeping Hermaphroditus. This is an interesting sculpture to begin with on our list. When you walk over to this beautiful sculpture of goddess, wait a minute, it's a god? Hermaphroditus is a child of Aphrodite and Hermes in Greek mythology. He was one of the arrows, or the cupids as Romans called it. His story is that he was a very handsome boy. When the nymph of Salamis encountered him in her pool, she attacked him and prayed to the gods that they should never be apart. Her wish was granted and their bodies blended into one form as a creature of both sexes. This ancient statue of Hermaphroditus was discovered in the early 17th century near Rome as people were digging up the ground. Then later, in 1620, it was given to Gian Lorenzo Bernini to make the button mattress to display the statue. Look how realistic and cushiony this stone-carved mattress looks. The realistic work of the mattress accentuates the beauty of this ancient statue even further. Sleeping Hermaphroditus is located in Sully Wing, room 348 on the ground floor. Number 5 on our list is French Crown Jewels on Denim Wing on first floor in room 705. This room is just astonishing. The gold and grand art pieces decorating in this room give us a glimpse of how luxurious and glamorous of life of royalty was in French history. King Louis XIV identified himself with the sun god Apollo and some of the greatest painters to work on this gallery. Today accommodates the collection of the French crown jewels for all the visitors to enjoy. There are so many beautiful jewelries in this room, but most iconic will be the Regent diamond. This is 140 carat diamond that is one of the most famous in the world. Its exceptional size, weight, and purity are said to be of the first water, meaning that it's perfectly transparent. It was discovered in India in 1698 and later purchased by the French Regent in 1717, and that's where it got its name. And it was worn by all the French rulers ever since then. Number 4 on 6 you should see at Louvre Museum, Liberty Leading the People by Eugene Delacroix. This painting is one of the most iconic works that symbolize freedom and human rights after the French Revolution of 1830. And this painting was also the great inspiration for the Statue of Liberty, known to be in New York but actually in New Jersey. The bare-breasted woman symbolizes the Lady of Liberty leading the troops to the French Republic. The cap on her head symbolizes the liberty as the Romans gave them to the newly freed slaves. The liberty in this painting is more modern and real. She is dirty and exposed as she climbs over the barricades leading the people. The artist even painted her underarm hair to portray more modern and strong womanhood. So look closely when you visit Louvre. Eugene Delacroix is a romanticism artist who wanted to deliver powerful moving feelings that inspired empathy among viewers. Romanticism artists generally favored colored over lines, portrayed dynamic rather than static compositions, and expressed their instincts and individuality rather than creating idolized representations of the classical past. Delacroix represented French Revolution by using the 3 colors representing the revolution: red, white, and blue. There's a new French flag in the lady's hand holding up proud and high. You can see the 3-color combination in the clothing and even through the colors of the cloud and smokes in the sky. If you look closely, there is also a small tricolor flag on the top of Notre Dame. Notre Dame Cathedral represented Paris back then as the Eiffel Tower does today. Number 3 on our list is Venus de Milo. Even without her arms, the Venus de Milo is probably one of the most iconic art pieces in the world. This ancient Greek sculpture is estimated to be from the Hellenistic period between 150 and 125 BC. It is missing both arms, but they decided not to restore them in fear of ruining its current beauty and grace. It is believed to be Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love, who Romans called it Venus. She is 6 feet and 8 inches tall and can be seen in room 345 in L Wing in the ground level. It was made from 2 blocks of marble and has several parts which were sculpted separately, then conjoined with vertical pegs. Originally, it would have been painted with lifelike colors and decorated with jewelries. There's no trace of paints today, but holes for the jewelry still remains. She is found in 1820 in the island of Milos, Greece, thought to be the work of Alexander of Antioch from the inscription found nearby. It was acquired by the French ambassador to Greece at the time, presented to King Louis XVIII. It was immediately displayed at Louvre since 1821, a year after it was found. Even during the World War II, it was evacuated safely away from German occupation, along with another Hellenistic period statue, the Winged Victory of Samothrace. Which brings us to number 2 on our list, the Winged Victory of Samothrace. You cannot miss this 2,200 years old masterpiece at Louvre, as it welcomes you from the top of the main staircases. It was displayed at this upper landing of Daru staircase since 1883. You can say that this entire area is dedicated to this statue. This sculpture is unique as it is one of the oldest sculptures existing today, along with the Venus de Milo. Most of the original Greek statues from the Hellenistic period has been destroyed as Christianity dominated the area and destroyed any statues of gods other than Christian God. Many of the Greek statues that we see today were recreated during Roman times for travelers and collectors to enjoy as souvenirs and decorations. So statues like the Winged Victory of Samothrace and the Venus de Milo are valuable to us today as it lets us take a glimpse into the art 2,200 years ago. Although we don't know the sculptor, the statue still portrays the grace and natural beauty. The reality portrayed by this statue deserves its place over Venus de Milo. It's a stone-carved statue that portrays as if the goddess just landed and still somewhat floating in the air. The stone drapery expresses an amazing sheer and flowing texture as if the wind is still blowing towards her. After its discovery in 1863, they made several attempts to find the head or the arms, but it wasn't successful. But they did find the palm and the ring finger in 1950s, which can be seen in room 703 in Denim Wing. Number 1 on our list of 6 you should see at Louvre Museum is Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa is one of the masterpieces of Italian Renaissance painted by Leonardo da Vinci, and it is one of the most valuable paintings in the world as it holds the highest painting insurance valuation in history at $870 million in today's value. It is sized at 20 by 30 inches and often disappoints some visitors for how small it is than expected. To compensate for this disappointment, the curators of the museum display the Wedding at Cana on the opposite side of the Mona Lisa, which is one of the biggest art pieces at the Louvre. So why is Mona Lisa so famous? It is known that Da Vinci started this portrait of a Florentine merchant's wife in 1503. It is a painting that he obsessed over 10 years with its detail. It is unfinished as the artist died before its completion, but we can find many of Leonardo's techniques through Mona Lisa. First, he used the atmospheric perspective where he made far distance much hazier, which gave much more depth to the painting. With Smarto, he gave subtle gradations between colors that softened the edges. This technique created Mona Lisa's enigmatic smile that no other portrait can imitate. The Mona Lisa first gained its fame as it was purchased by the French king. An Italian scholar, Giorgio Vasari, published a book in 1550 on its miraculous beauty. Later, it hung in Napoleon's bedroom, and after his exile, it was displayed at Louvre for the public to enjoy. However, Mona Lisa's fame today grew exponentially 400 years after the painting was created. In 1911, this painting was stolen from Louvre. And guess who was the first suspect of this grand heist? Pablo Picasso. He had previous attempts to buy Louvre's artwork through a black market, so the police immediately pointed him as a suspect, which grabbed the attention of the world. But Picasso was found innocent as they caught the real thief, who was an Italian carpenter working at the museum at the time. The Italian carpenter thought that he was being patriotic by returning the Da Vinci's work back to Italy, but he was caught as he tried to sell this painting in Florentine, Italy. After its return, it attracted even more visitors around the world and continues its fame until today. That's the top 6 you should see at Louvre. Check out our other top 6 list and don't forget to subscribe!